Alright everybody, my name is Corey. I have type 1 bipolar disorder, and the disease no longer has control over me. I control it, and I make it manageable so it doesn't interfere with me and my life anymore. So as you can tell by the title of the story, that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So, I have type 1 bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed in 1996. Before that, I was in a severe psychotic depression when I was in 1993. So if you're watching this right now, it's 2017. So from my psychotic break up until now, it's 21 years. So I have 21 years experience of dealing with psychotherapy, antidepressants, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers. So I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me, but it took 21 years to finally dial in the medication to where I am where I am now. Now I'm not going to get specific into the medicine that I take because my experiences are going to be very different than yours, and I don't feel comfortable just telling you guys what I have. That's just my thing. Yeah, so in 96 I was in the junior year of high school. I became manic. The reason why is because I really wanted to go to USC and get a PhD in English. So that didn't happen, of course, because I became psychotic. But before that, I was getting 3 hours of sleep for 2 months or 3 months straight. So when you put someone who has a predisposition for bipolar and combine that with complete lack of sleep, your propensity for becoming manic or psychotic, which I like to say, rises like a lot. And if you have bipolar, you're gonna get a break from reality. You're gonna have a psychotic break. So that's what happened with that. And in that episode, I took a mood stabilizer while I was in the hospital. It wasn't necessarily appropriate for me at the time because this medicine, yes, sure, it attenuates the manic high, but this medicine does not take care of the depression. And I had years of severe, functioning depression. So what does that mean? I'm able to go about, make my day, but when I'm alone by myself, my thoughts become sinister, and I just don't have control over things anymore. So I would just be in a piss poor depression, functional depression, but this mood stabilizer didn't help me out with that. So it basically screwed me for a long time, from, let's see, 96 up in 2009. That's about 20 years or something like that. Anyways, so yeah. So that happened. And then my psychiatrist at the time, he switched me over from one mood stabilizer to another mood stabilizer, and that one worked really well. And it's very clean. It's a clean medicine. Yes, it gives me tremors. It gives me diarrhea. It makes me piss a lot. But at the same time, it doesn't disrupt cognitive function. And because of that medicine, that mood stabilizer, dramatically lowers the decrease of suicide. It protects you against suicide, as well as it grows neural circuits inside your hippocampus. And that part of the hippocampus controls your memory. So you have better memory, no decrease in cognitive function, and it's a very clean medicine for the most part. Some people can't handle the shakes or the diarrhea, so they change over to a different mood stabilizer. But for me, that works the best. That works very well for me. So one of the big things that I have going for me is that I've never abused drugs or alcohol. I mean, I'll be the first to admit. I mean, yes, I got drunk on maybe 3 times when I was pissed drunk and had a hangover. But aside from that, I never really got addicted to alcohol. And with marijuana, I did experiment. I like it. I mean, honestly, I do like it. But at the same time, it can instigate a psychotic break. So between being psychotic and between being high, I choose to be normal, level, instead of taking weed. So that's my thing with drugs and alcohol. I'm not addicted to anything right now. I've experimented more so with marijuana, but I never got addicted, and because of that, my brain is very clean. What I mean by clean is that basically all the neurons that are meant to be there are there, and my neural networks are interconnected, and that's because of the lithium. So I have really good attenuation of those types of behaviors, or stopping those types of behaviors totally. I've had mistakes, and if you have bipolar, there's a chance that you may have a mixed state. And briefly, that basically means that your soul is being ripped apart because you're experiencing depression and mania more or less at the same time. In my experience, I'd be depressed for 3 minutes. Then on the upswing, I'd be manic for 3 minutes. And then depressed for 3 minutes. And then manic for 3 minutes. And you're switching so rapidly between depression and mania, you don't know what the hell's what's going on with you. You're just like, man, I'm fucked. I mean, to be honest with that right there. I mean, like, I'm screwed because of this mixed state. And I've almost killed myself many times because of that. I would say at least maybe 12 to 15 times, because my mixed states last from about January or February going all the way up to May. But I lived with that kind of hell daily, every single day. And it sucked. And that's why I almost killed myself, is because switching over from depression to mania to depression, all within a matter of minutes, it's going to kill you. I mean, seriously, it's going to kill you. Another big factor is my friends. I'm on Facebook, and I have about, let's just say, 100 friends who check in on me and like see my status updates. But you know what? I'm very open about my bipolar on Facebook, and it's reason because it's like, I've known these friends for years, going back, like, we go back, and they know that I have type 1, and I, in my status updates, I pretty much write out some gnarly things. The craziest thing that I publish on Facebook is my suicide note. That's hands down the gnarliest thing I've ever done. And the thing is, I think all of us experience Facebook envy, where we look at someone's status update and they have nice dogs and kids and they have awesome careers and awesome jobs, birthday parties, you name it. Everyone on Facebook is like super real. Wait, what the hell is super real? Everyone on Facebook portrays themselves in a totally different light, when we all know that Facebook is bullshit. And it's like that because no one has the perfect life that you see on FB. No one has that. So whenever I started to compare myself to my friends these days, and this is like the big reason why I'm doing better, is because when I start feeling crappy and start comparing myself to my friends and their perfect Facebook life, I log off, and I'm an airplane fanatic, and I watch videos of airplanes, or I watch videos of skateboarding, because I was a skater back in the day, and I'm trying to get back into skating. So yeah, it's all good. So that's the big thing right there. Okay, medication. Stop comparing myself to my friends. Get good sleep, because as I said, if you don't get sleep, you're going to become psychotic. So I take antipsychotics to go to sleep, and that's really good for me because it really brings me down. And I take a mood stabilizer, and I take a medicine that's actually an anticonvulsant, but it's used to treat bipolar depression, and that runs very well. So my medication mix is actually pretty manageable, because I have like antipsychotics on board, and I have the mood stabilizers on board. That's it. And it's easy enough to tweak one thing without affecting everything else, because we know what the mood stabilizer that I'm taking is going to work. Yeah, so me comparing to myself to my friends, that shit almost killed me. And I don't know. And I think a lot of people, okay, I've read suicide notes just on YouTube or whatever's. There are two different types in general. I don't know if there's more. There's probably more different types. But the one type is I see more so in kids, where they say it's like, I'm a burden, nobody wants me anymore. I'm just being a burden to everyone. I'm just going to off myself. That's what happens to the kids. I noticed that the kids' suicide notes are like, they're just a burden to everything. No one will miss them, and they're sorry about doing this. Okay, that's kids. In my situation where I'm an adult, and I've read suicide notes from The Bridge. The Bridge is a documentary about jumping the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. So it's about those jumpers. And you read some of their suicide notes. So what happens is that those men in their 50s, you see like, what have I done with my life? I'm broke. I'm a drunk. I have no life. And that's extreme sense of comparing themselves. They say, I'm drunk. I'm a drug addict. I have no life. What the hell did I do with my life? When you start making comparisons like that, that's how you kill somebody. If you want to kill somebody, it's very simple. First, you take away hope. Second, you take away the possibility that things are going to get better. So if you take away hope, and if you take away the possibility that things are going to get better, you're a dead man. I don't care if you have manic depression or any other psychiatric illness. I don't care what's going on with you, but if you do that, you will kill somebody. And we've been through years of that kind of crap. This like feeling like dysfunctional. You don't have anybody in your life. You're drunk. You know, things of that nature. You don't have to be a drunk, of course, but sometimes it happens in the suicide notes that I read. So manic depression is a very tricky disease. As I said, it took 21 years for me to figure out the medicine. It took years for me to figure out that I can't compare myself to everyone on Facebook. I never abused drugs or alcohol. I mean, you know what I said about that. That's grateful. And I go to sleep and I have a bunch of friends. As I said, I have 100 close friends that I really do feel close with on Facebook. My total friend count is like 159 or something. And I really don't like adding friends to Facebook because I share some pretty gnarly things. And honestly, I'm not going to tell you my Facebook account because I just feel comfortable about that. Because my real friends, they know what's up. And they take care of me and they protect me. So having a lot of friends, that helps me a lot. And I understand that there are a lot of people who are lonely out there with bipolar or whatever type of disease they have. But I don't necessarily know what kind of advice to give you if you're just basically by yourself. I really don't know what to say about that. But I do know that my friends are a huge support system. And one final thing before we conclude tonight. Hypomania. I stay the hell away from hypomania. Because when I'm hypomanic, I tell everyone to go fuck themselves, to go piss off, to go like, well, I think you're an idiot. When I'm hypomanic, that emotional sensor that's there that tells you to shut up and not say everything off the top of your head, you're going to lose that sensor and you're going to piss off your friends by telling them to go screw themselves. And hypomania is very dangerous because it's so seductive. It basically kind of feels like you're on meth. I've never tried meth, but looking at the symptomatic profile between meth and mania, they're pretty much one and the same. And when you're dealing with someone with hypomania, they're going to lose control and they're going to say hurtful things and they're going to hurt those relationships. So I really value my friendships with everybody as well as my family. And because of that, I don't become hypomanic because I don't want to piss anybody off. And I just don't want to go that route and end up friendless. I don't want to lose my friends. And because of that, that's how I keep the hypomania away from me, even though my brain is still addicted to it. Alright, this video's on. If you have questions, write it in the comments, or I'll see you around. Alright, thanks everyone. Peace.